Okay, so here's your long-awaited lecture on massage therapy as a career. Basically, in this presentation, I just want to take about 15 minutes to cover for you how you can work, where you can work, and just give you an idea of what a day-to-day life of a career massage therapist would be like. So let's jump into this. Where can a licensed massage therapist work? Most people are surprised at the variety of options that we have. So most people are aware that you can work at a day spa like Massage Envy, Elements, Massage Green, any of the day spas out there. That's definitely an option. It's a great starting point for a massage therapist who's just trying to get a little bit of experience. You can work at high-end spas and resorts, and in Northern Virginia there are a lot of them. That would include Salamander Resort, which I think I mentioned to you all in class, Woodhouse Spa, Lansdowne Resort. But you can also work at high-end resorts like the type of resorts you can find at Hilton Head Island or Disney, that sort of thing, where these are vacation spots. I actually had one graduate who built a business plan based on resort hopping. She wanted to work in the South during the winter and in the North during the summer and just go from one resort to another, which is a neat way for her to enjoy being at the resorts and all the beautiful scenery and everything that resorts have to offer. Certainly massage therapists work in chiropractic offices if you enjoy more of the medical type model, or other doctors' offices like orthopedics, osteopaths, etc. You can work in gyms. There are a lot of gyms that offer massage therapists, or yoga studios that hire massage therapists. Physical therapy offices and rehab centers all hire massage therapists. You can work in hospitals and senior centers. You can work in nursing homes. I think I mentioned athletic teams. So you can work for the Washington Nationals. You can work for the Chicago Cubs. You can work for smaller teams or non-professional teams. Cruise ships is one that a lot of people are interested in. Please know that on a cruise ship that you do work very long hours and you are living in the back of the house. You're not living in one of those nice staterooms with a window and a balcony. And your opportunities to leave the ship might be very narrow. You can work out of your home. This was my first choice when I first graduated. I still take clients in my home, very, very few. I really enjoy that. It's nice that if they're running late, if they cancel, it doesn't really put a blip in my day at all. And I certainly have a lot more time for my family and for my personal plans when I'm working out of my home. You can work for a travel to service. These travel to services are definitely evolving right now. Some of you may have heard of Zeal or Soothe, which is where the client downloads an app. It's like the Uber of massage therapy. They pay very well, but you are going into an unknown scenario, so you don't know if you're going to be around animals or if there's going to be much space for you to work, and it's a constantly adapting way to work. Corporate massage. This is where corporations hire you to come to their events. Okay, so in general, the biggest thing to take away is that your options will be narrowed down into whether or not you are an employee or self-employed. And when I say self-employed, that includes everything from being a sole proprietor, like working out of your home, or being an independent contractor, which is, as far as the IRS form, would be a 1099. And then partnerships. So if you own a little massage clinic, you might go into it as a partnership with other massage therapists. So I want to break this down a little bit. This is the most important thing for you to understand from this lecture. I want you to understand the difference between a W-2 or an employee and a 1099, which is an independent contractor. Oh, I'm sorry, the slide did not format well. So among the factors that the IRS scrutinizes are behavioral control factors such as how the worker receives assignments, financial control, such as who pays for the supplies and the materials that are used by the worker and the benefits provided, and then relationship control issues as such as whether the agreement can be readily terminated. Let me break this down a little more specifically. If you are a W-2 employee, you will likely have assigned hours, a set schedule. You'll get trained by the company in a specific method, and only as an employee can they require that you do a formula massage. As a W-2, you would complete any and all work assigned to you by your manager. You are provided with all the tools, the sheets, the lotions, all the materials you need to finish your work, and you have only one employer typically. So this would be the person, typically somewhere like Massage Envy will hire you as an employee. A lot of massage therapists work as 1099 or independent contractors. So chiropractors like to hire massage therapists this way. And I know that when I worked, when I worked at Salamander, I was a employee, a W-2 employee. When I worked at one chiropractor, I was a 1099. At another chiropractor, I was a W-2. So the difference, if you're a 1099 independent contractor, you set your own schedule. You tell the doctor what days you're willing to work and when you're willing to be there, or whoever you're working for. You use your own personal method for finishing assignments, which means you typically provide the lotion, you may provide sheets, you may provide everything that you need. You accept tasks on a case-by-case basis, and you can turn down any suggestions. So if they say, would you work with this particular client, you have the prerogative to say no if you're an independent contractor. You do supply your own tools. You typically have more than one client, and when I say more than one client, I don't mean the person getting on the table. I mean you can work for a chiropractor and for a travel to company if you're a 1099. And basically, if you do your job well and finish it on time, the company usually doesn't have much contact for you while you're working. So the benefits of being an employee include, this is a W-2 employee, include everything is done for you. You walk in, do your work, and you leave. You may have a uniform, everything is provided. And so there's a lot less to think about. When you're a W-2, your taxes are withheld from your paycheck. That includes Social Security, federal unemployment taxes, Medicare taxes, and sometimes workman's comp, disability, etc. Employers must follow fair labor codes, meaning overtime, breaks, minimum wage, etc. And employers are prohibited from discrimination. You don't have to advertise for clients. You have a consistent schedule or routine, and your employer can give you a specific massage routine that they expect you or require you to follow. If you're a 1099, the benefits would include primarily tax benefits. The employer is saving money by not paying employment taxes, which gives you much better control. You're allowed to deduct anything from the travel from your home to the place of work, gas, mileage. You can deduct your lotion, your sheets, your table, your music, your phone for making appointments, your computer, your website, your business cards, your printer ink, I'll give you a list on that in a minute. So it gives you a lot more control over your taxes. When you're a 1099, you have greater flexibility. You are your own boss. You get to choose your own assignments, and you can choose to work for multiple people who hire you. And you have an increased earning potential because you have no limitations on your hours. You're free to negotiate your rates, etc. There are some significant drawbacks. You do have to pay quarterly taxes based on an estimate of how much you expect to earn that year. So if you set a goal to earn $50,000 or $70,000, then you're going to estimate that, that's your income, and you will every 3 months make a payment to the IRS based on, that particular goal. You may have to pay, so the self-employed version, when you're employed as a W-2, what's taken out of your paycheck is 7.65% of what you would owe for Social Security and Medicare tax. And the employer is going to pay 7.65. But when you're self-employed, you have to pay both aspects of that. So you're paying 15.3% of your taxes. So that's definitely a drawback and something to keep in mind. You have no benefits. You're going to have to provide your own health insurance, your own dental, etc. And you don't get a paid vacation for sure. And job security. The way you work as a 1099 means that any party can terminate that contract on short notice, and you don't have as many protections in that aspect. The 1099 relationship is really set up as a benefit for the employer to meet the employer's needs more than it is for you. And lastly, you may have less legal recourse in the event of a dispute when you're working as a contractor. So I also mentioned that you could work as a sole proprietor or partnership. If you own your own business where you hire a massage therapist in your little studio, that allows you to leverage your time. You're no longer trading $1 for one hour for X number of dollars. Typically, let's say you charge $100 for a Swedish massage at your little massage studio, and you have 3 1099s, which means that you have 4 clients operating at 10 a.m. You're 3 independent contractors. You're going to get about 40% of each of those massages, and the massage therapist, the 1099s that you have working for you, will take home about $60. Your business takes in about $40 for each of those. Plus you're doing a massage, that's an additional $100. So at 10 o'clock, as opposed to making $100 for doing one Swedish massage, you made $220. You gave one Swedish massage. So I don't want you to think that that's all going to your private bank account. That goes back to your business. You pay your overhead, you pay your rent, your utilities, and you pay your taxes out of that. But it does definitely allow you to leverage your time. There are a lot of tax benefits. In fact, almost all the same tax benefits you would have as a 1099. But you need to keep in mind that if you are a sole prop or in a partnership, if you have a little clinic, that you do have lots and lots of liabilities. You have a lot of overhead. You have a lot of legal responsibilities. And we'll get into that when we get into entrepreneurship for massage therapy and you're writing a business plan. You'll get a much, much clearer idea of what is involved in owning a little studio. Let's talk about some of the common tax breaks. I've got 2 minutes to go over this. Any job hunting expenses, contacting people saying, I'd like to, offer a massage in your office. Anything you have a receipt for, you have to have a receipt. All your business travel, if you take a CEU class, continuing education, you get to write that off. The tuition, the travel, the hotel, the food you eat when you go. Your business mileage, your business meals. If you sit down and have lunch with a physical therapist to talk about offering massage, you can write that off. Your insurance, your association dues, music for client sessions, property tax, licensing fees, utilities, linens, uniforms, gifts to your clients, office supplies, fees for consultants, credit card fees, bank account fees, telephone charges, web hosting, web design. I think you get the idea. I've got 30 seconds before this lecture time's out. Overall, I just want you to understand that no matter where you work as a massage therapist, that you are typically going to either be an employee or a 1099, and it's important for you to understand the implications of both. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to email me or text me. All right, your next video is coming soon.